Hello and welcome to the corner. I'm the Frosted Glass, and I'm joined by my fellow Albus Savages. I like boobs. Yes, I like boobs today.
Yeah.
I am Moonshock.
No, I am Moonshock.
I'm Moonshock
Thank
and
you.
save my wife.
And I am straight.
And filling in for, well, I mean, also we have the real Moonshock.
I'm gay and fat. I'm gay and fat. Everybody hates me because I'm gay and fat.
Hey, where'd you get my ringtone?
Who do you think sent it to you?
Pterodiomantis.
Hello.
And this week's special guest, Delahazed.
I'm feeling a little under special as of already, but I'll do my best.
It's okay. You can be Moonshock too.
Thank you.
You can be gay if you want. It's okay.
Oh, I'm sure I could, but I'd rather not. Thank you.
Yeah, $20 is $20, as they say. Yeah.
You
He
can
doesn't want
dance
to
if
be
you
gay,
want
and
to.
he doesn't want.
Not in Canada.
You
20
can
bucks
leave your
probably
friends
100 in Canada.
behind. Because your friends don't dance, and if they don't dance, then they're no friends.
I love hearing Jack talk about friends like he has any.
Yeah.
But
Well, Jack's got some. They're just into yiffing.
You don't count.
So Della, are you someone's Canadian girlfriend?
Ask your mother.
all right. Well, for our first article, let's just say that after I read it, I started following the author.
Oh God, that means it's either really good or really bad. I'm leaning towards
Why
the
not
latter.
both?
Have you paid attention to who Frosted follows?
No. What's the fun in that?
All right. And I'm not going to tell you the title of this one.
Oh, these are always fun.
Need the author though. Need the author.
All right.
No, you don't.
Please don't.
All right. It's Andrew P. Brown III, PhD.
Oh, wow. That's a hell of a name.
The P stands for Florence.
And we start off with a quote. If we can show to a reasonable certainty that just one image is, or just one artifact on Mars is artificial, that it is made by intelligence rather than natural, if we can just do that once, then that makes the interpretation of anything else on Mars as artificial no longer extraordinary. By Tom Van Flandern, PhD. By now, you may have seen images of the face on the planet Mars, taken by the Viking 1 orbiter launched by NASA on July 25th, 1976.
Are we about to get a Jewish conspiracy theory?
Oh, hold on. And you have likely formed your own opinion regarding its origin. The media spectacle that followed upon its discovery has long diminished, but in its wake, the controversy over its origin remains. Who knew? After spending roughly $1 billion US taxpayer dollars to fund the orbiter, $8.25 billion in current value, subsequent scientific analysis and data appear muddled, as neither major media nor the space agency have reported or made information readily available to the public. As a result, the predominant narrative is that the face and other discoveries on the planet are of natural origin. Western scientists, for the most part, advanced a narrative that explained the face as a natural geological feature and the result of pareidolia. Something sciencey.
It's not a super complex feature. It can very easily be explained by nature.
Can it, though?
That's just what they want you to think.
Yeah.
It's not like the text of the Bible written on the planet's surface. It's not super complicated. It's just a mound that kind of looks like a face that, if you were on the planet itself, probably wouldn't look like a face at all.
The tendency to perceive recognizable patterns in random stimuli.
Is
This
what this is.
Yeah.
This description has held over a competing, more cogent scientific analysis that has been minimized, ignored, or altogether dismissed as outlandish sci-fi fantasy. However, what you likely have not heard is that considerable scientific fellowship from the fields of astronomy, astrophysics, and planetary geology have concluded that the face on Mars, along with thousands of other formations and objects located in the same region, stand a 1,000 billion to 1 probability of being artificial in origin.
So it's very unlikely that they're artificial.
But no, we have a translation. Translation. Multiple scientists have concluded, far beyond reasonable doubt, that the images on Mars are the product of humanoid civilization that existed until approximately 3.2 million years ago.
You might want to hire a new translator.
It says right here. All right. Try not to spit out your coffee. There are scientists who have concluded that this builder civilization ended 3.2 million years ago, subsequent to the explosion of a larger planet which Mars orbited as a moon.
Hey, Moon's not here.
The late Dr. Flandern's lecture is astonishing, if not compelling. Dr. Flandern provides atmospheric evidence that a planet did indeed explode, and further, that the heavily cratered side of Mars comprises a field of debris from that explosion, while in stark contrast, the uber-smooth surface of the Kydonia region, where the face is located, reflects the side of the planet that was spared the ballistic fallout from the atomic implosion.
So what?
I strongly encourage you to set aside some time and watch this entire lecture while it is available, as information that poses a significant challenge to human social and intellectual indoctrination has a way of suddenly vanishing.
Dude, it's a fucking rock. It's a huge, enormous, goddamned rock. And
No,
it is
I
so...
I have it on good authority that it wasn't a rock. It was a rock lobster.
And it is so big that if you analyze every square inch of surface on the planet, you're gonna find some pretty outrageous shit. It's that big. It's so big. You think the road to the drugstore is long. That's peanuts compared to Mars.
Is that from something?
That's from the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
Oh. The unfathomable question of black Martian humanoids. The mandates of Western science and the racial hierarchy shape the scope of human perception. And here we have a quote from African philosopher Benjamin Iwuku Oguwu. The very
Google.
Benjamin Awuku Blue Dabba Dee Dabba Die. The very concept of African philosophy is apt to cause scornful, or at least skeptical, laughter in certain quarters in the West. As far as the East is from the West, so far is Africa removed from philosophy. The West is the home of civilization and philosophy. Africa is the home of wild trees, wild animals, wild people, and wild cultures.
Oh no.
Prejudice dies hard, and Western anti-African prejudice dies even harder.
Oh no. We was Mars!
And now another quote. The feature of skin pigmentation, as we know and relate to in the modern era of human existence, is what we now consider to be the markers of race and racial classification. And in order to extract and secure patterns of wealth, skin color, aka race, has been legislated into a social hierarchy, that is, a racial hierarchy. This racial hierarchy has found false legitimacy through a hegemonic racial science. Oh yeah, and explain this, Jack. Explain this picture, huh? Yeah? If you're not convinced now, then there's no hope for you. The racial hierarchy social construct imposes upon all humans a social structure that disregards the unique, organically rich contextual elements and features vital to the development of a healthy human identity, ergo a mentally stable and healthy human psyche. All right, and back to the author.
Where does Yakub fit into this? Because I know he's got to be in there somewhere.
The creation of a racial hierarchy places hard restrictions on any advancement of knowledge that would oppose, contradict, or discredit narratives that do not center whiteness as the beginning and end of all things. Even when evidence is staring both the public and Western scientists in the face, there's a staunch refusal to accept the obvious. Yeah? How about that, Jack? Huh? Look at that.
I'm convinced.
Oh.
Well, what more could anyone want? That's like smoking gun right there.
I love that we're
Here we
measuring
go.
head shapes.
Yeah.
White-centered scientists will fight to the
Wait. Measuring head shapes. Does that mean the face on Mars has one of those criminal head shapes? Is that what they're telling us?
I think we're gonna get deep into the phrenology rabbit hole here.
I like phrenology. That is one of my favorite quack sciences.
White-centered scientists will fight to the grave denying any evidence of the existence of a technologically advanced ancient world that does not embrace European development. For example, Western scholarship that attributes anything of advanced technology's substance coming out of Africa is diluted. There is always strenuous pushback to prove that it was not created by a black African civilization.
I'm willing to admit they probably invented the spear and throwing rocks. I'm sure that they developed these things on their own.
Yeah, I saw Black Panther. Understanding the function of the racial hierarchy renders awareness that Western scientists and scholars serve as its vanguards. There's strict adherence to discredit any narrative that does not center whiteness. The primary objective is to center and preserve a white-oriented narrative at all costs and by any means necessary. This is because acceptance of an advanced civilization that does not center whiteness destroys the foundational mythology of the racial hierarchy. It tears the hierarchy away from its mooring and casts it into the sea of unusual human belief. And if a racial hierarchy can no longer stand, then the concept of a white god as the creator of all things is cast aside as well. Alright, so if Egyptians were black, God isn't real. This is why you probably haven't heard of Dr. Flander's brilliant lecture until now. It seems obvious
because it wasn't brilliant.
Everybody knows Dr. Flandern.
Is it on the bookshelf beside Tariq Nasheed?
Wash your ass.
Wash your ass.
But we don't know where Dr. Flandern stands on anal hygiene. All right. It seems obvious that Dr. Flandern and his fellow colleagues went off the farm. It happens sometimes. But wait, there's more. You may not be aware of the compelling evidence of advanced black African science and technology present in the Americas over 2,000 years before Columbus. How did this get here?
Can I just say, for whatever reason, I never hear shit like this coming from the white supremacists. I only hear it coming from black people. I don't hear it coming from any other race. I don't hear it coming from Asians or from Latinos. I only ever hear it from one race.
And
why is that?
It just so happens to be the stupidest race. That's all.
I never heard an Asian argue that Benjamin Franklin was Asian or Abraham Lincoln was Asian.
Well, we know Beethoven was black from Tariq Nasheed. Let's see.
And also a dog, interestingly enough.
Shakespeare was black, but also Shakespeare's writings was all done by a black girl, and Shakespeare was a white man who couldn't read.
Yeah.
Also, I like the detail that Beethoven was black, so when he went deaf, that's when his melanin kicked in, and he was able to still compose.
It all makes sense once you have it explained.
Or how about...
I was starting to think this guy was a quack for PhD, but then I crunched some numbers, and I'm a little concerned that I might not be giving him credit. Just on this alone, the infamous F graph from the 2020 election, right?
Yeah.
If the math is right as far as what he presented, for that being some kind of a millennia old humanoid construct, that's actually 8 billion times more likely than all of those votes going to Biden sequentially. He might not be a quack.
Or how about the 12,000-year-old pyramid discovered 25 meters underwater in Japan off the coast of the Ryukyu Islands, known as the Yonaguni Monument, discovered in 1986. They had underwater
Totally
Negroes.
Did I say the blacks built those two?
And you people mock the new Assassin's Creed for having a black guy.
Yeah. And hip-hop music.
And he built pyramids. Western scientists are baffled by the discovery of this pyramid, and like the artifacts,
and stuff.
I mean, probably because of the fact it's underwater, not because they think blacks did it. By the discovery of this pyramid, and like the artifacts,
actually, underwater, that kind of argues against the African construction.
Yeah, they can't swim.
Well, maybe that's they just want you to think that they can't swim, so that you don't understand the mysteries of the universe. This is like secret knowledge that they're keeping from us.
Oh,
all right. Terry, I love me some swimming. I love swimming, and I've spent a lot of time swimming, but it took me a lot longer than the next person to learn that black heritage there.
Mm.
Oh. As long as they don't find out that us white men actually can jump.
Whoa. Keep that to yourself.
And like the artifacts discovered on Mars, they debate if the origins are artificial versus natural. But again, understanding the mandates of Western science and the accompanying racial hierarchy, the baffling is what happens when perception is centered in the world of whiteness.
Mm.
Acceptance of an artificial origin of the so-called Yonaguni Monument. Isn't that where John McClane was held hostage? would yield more evidence of likely ancient black African exploration and influence outside of the African continent and across oceans. Okay, so the blacks showed up at Japan and were like, we want to build some cool monuments, but we don't want them to know, so let's do it underwater.
Mm. See, that's just smart.
Yeah. Okay, and naturally, this evidence runs counter to the European white-centered narrative that the science and technology required to navigate such exploration did not exist until Columbus discovered America, which he thought was India, circa 1492. And no, he didn't think it was India, because India wasn't a country yet. So were black humanoids present on Mars over 3 million years ago? I don't know. But what I do know is that if the evidence for that is overwhelming, you probably won't hear about it.
Niggers in space. I love it.
I gotta say, if black people are like the super smart secret society, they have the dumbest representatives defending that point I've ever seen.
No, I just had a great idea. Send all the black people back to Mars, they don't want to be oppressed by white people, so we'll just send them to Mars where they can have their own super advanced colony, and everyone wins.
All right, now I'm picturing like a slave ship, but it's like a Star Wars like starship coming from Mars, bringing slaves. There's like a Star Destroyer full of slaves. The marks that we see on Mars are not from an ignorant, silly, uncivilized person. They show signs of civilization, and they look something similar to us. Not exactly.
So why do you think it's black people?
Not exactly, but they look similar.
Because of that criminal head shape.
They walk on 2 feet, and they're not white folks. Elijah Muhammad, The People of Mars, October 29, 1972.
I mean, I don't know.
Are we going to
about
be quoting Heinlein next on what Martians are like?
I don't know about you, but when I saw that face on Mars, all I could think was Nubian princess.
And DC Isaac in chat says space Jews covering up the Martian space nigger story.
Jews in space.
Well, I mean,
Well,
they've got the Death Star of David. Could you imagine the devastation that could do to Mars?
Yeah.
Obviously, they would have had to have given up right away.
Well, if you're not convinced now, Jack, I don't know what to do.
I have learned something today, Frosted.
Hmm.
I think we've all learned
Bullshit.
something here today.
As
Bullshit.
Six in chat, that means that Tyr is a Martian, and I always suspected.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not news.
It would certainly explain why he can't write English.
It would, wouldn't it?
All right. Well, now that we've exposed that black people built Mars, let's go on to our first game, which is
More like fled Mars for exactly the same reason astronauts keep trying to flee the planet due to growing up in Ohio.
yeah, it'll be like when like a black person goes to Africa and discovers that it sucks, but it's Mars. All right, Sad Libs Double Prompt Edition, where I take
Great
4 headlines from,
landscapes, no atmosphere.
where I take 4 headlines from Medium, take out 2 words, and you guys fill in those words Mad Lib style. The chat votes on which is best. All right, so Jack, I need an adjective.
Let's go with hairy.
Ah, branching out.
Yeah.
All right, and Moon, I need a female person.
Let's go with Stacey Abrams.
Let's see, Terry, I need a nationality or ethnicity.
I guess let's go German.
Okay, Della, I need an adjective.
Flamboyant.
And Moon, give me a nationality.
Nigerian.
Mm.
Or Nigerian.
Yes.
Proper
That too.
pronunciation.
Exactly. Right.
All right. Let's see, Terry, give me a male person possessive.
Tyr Alexander's.
This one's not gonna be pretty.
Oh no.
All right, Della, give me a type of person.
Jew.
You had my attention. Now you've got my interest.
Well, I suppose he was kind of set up for that with the German. But
Right.
Yeah.
Your
And,
ideas are intriguing to me, and I wish to subscribe to your newsletter.
and Jack, give me a type of person plural.
I kind of like I know that Terry prefers saying niggers, but I prefer the more old-fashioned Negroes.
Well, I don't know. Which came first?
Yeah. Well, I mean, the only reason I prefer nigger is because it's the only swear word that people still treat as profanity. Like, I mean, maybe faggot as well, but
Well,
like, if
well,
you-
yes, but I feel like Negroes. Every time somebody says it, they sound like a Victorian with a monocle.
yeah. No, I
Yeah,
mean,
there's
Negroes
class
is a
to it.
funnier.
Yeah.
Negroes is a funnier word. I'm just saying the reason I prefer nigger is because it's one of the few words that society still treats as profane.
Yeah.
All right, so let's see. Jax is, my hairy kid is flying the Nigerian flag on social media, and I want her to stop.
Oh God.
All right, and let's see. Moons. Stacey Abrams denied Tyr Alexander's offer to impregnate her.
I think Tyr lucked out on that.
Dodged a bullet.
I feel like they both lucked out somehow.
Yeah.
Right?
All right, let's see. Terry. In some German cultures, the groom must first have sex with the bride's Jew first. Oh, sorry. Hey, I read wrong. The groom must have sex with the bride's Jew first. All right. And Della's, white firefighters intentionally left flamboyant Negroes to burn. I mean, were they wrong to?
I mean,
Was there a fire at RuPaul's Drag Race?
In fairness, I think that the other Negroes would also leave the flamboyant Negroes to burn.
True.
right?
All right, and I'll start a poll so check in on which is best.
And then you've got like the butch Negroes who would leave them to burn because they put themselves in the wrong place.
Yeah. As far as my vote, we don't need no water. Let the motherfuckers burn.
Fair.
All right, well, people seem to be leaning towards Della.
Yeah.
I'm torn between Willett Shocks and Della's.
Those are the two best ones. Yeah.
I think Della's is a little better though.
Although
I'll be a contrarian and vote for Will.
Although in Terry's, I like the implication that all Germans own a Jew.
Yes.
Right? That's why I voted for Terry's. The implication of owning a Jew.
I'm just thinking of Mr. Show where there's a sketch where as part of reparations they had to clone Hitler like 1 million times and distribute all the Hitler clones to the Jews.
Or just imagine little German children in school. Oh, Heinrich, we just got a new Jew. Would you like to come over afterwards and play with it?
No, I think it's more like Pokemon where you've got to collect all the different types of Jews to complete the collection.
Oh, he just evolved into a rabbi.
See, exactly.
You gotta trap him in a dreidel like a Pokeball.
Yeah.
Have you got a matchmaker yet?
And you got to lure him out with a yarmulke.
Slow-mo, I Jews you.
That's so fucked up.
Oh, wow.
I was minding my own business and they stuck me in a ball.
Yeah.
I was sitting in the temple. I was minding my own business. I was listening to a lovely Hebrew mass. And points if you get the reference. All right. Well, I think I can end it there.
I think so.
Go, Pikachu. All right. All right. Okay, and now on to our second story, which we've had an article from her before, and it turns out they don't just want the wine.
Ruh-roh.
Trump, chicken welfare, MAHA, and the battle for chicken souls.
Oh, wow.
Chickens are stuck in the middle of a cultural and political war they never deserved to be a part of.
Well, then get them out of it.
I like that the article is written by Charlie Brown.
Yeah. It's the
Can
great
we get a
chicken
picture
Charlie
of
Brown.
Charlie Brown?
Working on it.
I just like the title has the same sound Amanda Bynes used to make when she started out.
Hmm?
Maha?
Oh, yeah. From the Amanda Show.
Yeah.
Poor little chicken. All it wants is to live its life the way God intended, scratching about and trying not to get eaten by foxes.
And then the sky started falling, and he must tell the king.
You mean deep fried and served with waffles?
They certainly didn't mean to become part of cultural and political warfare, yet they are. Trump is using them as a political bargaining chip. Make America Healthy Again types have co-opted chickens as the poster animal for the ultimate homesteading lifestyle.
Co-opted chicken.
At the you think black people are furious? At the same time,
Okay. Here's Tears trigger warning.
Oh, yeah.
There's your author.
oh yeah, she's definitely British. You
How
can
do
tell
know?
that. The teeth and the downsy face.
Well, I'm starting to understand why she's concerned with chickens. She-
British
she's-
British writer
she's
living in Portugal,
Right in the farm with them.
writing niche content.
Oh, her lesbian lovers.
Also,
same-
Johnny Hellcat points out that the article reads like a trombone.
Yeah.
Huh?
Charlie Brown joke.
Oh,
What the cluck is this author talking about?
Yeah. At the same time, chickens, especially factory-farmed birds reared in appalling, torturous conditions, embody exactly what is wrong with our food systems. Yet chicken is the most popular meat in the world. We slaughter 74 billion of them a year. Health enthusiasts love them for their protein content. Anyone who grew up with Sunday roasts loves them for their nostalgia. And 87% of Americans eat eggs at least once a week.
You
They're the
monsters.
Yeah.
They're the symbol of everything from the darkest side of modern food systems to tradwifery to capitalism to health. Chickens are not just chickens. They stand for something.
Well, I am told by a singer that they'd have to, or they'd fall for anything.
That's no chicken, it's a space station. With that is a battle for their very souls, and none of them are getting out alive. Is
No one
this
gets
like
out alive.
is this the tagline for an action movie?
Right? This summer, at a theater near you, one chicken wages battle against the entire world. Will they come out on top, or will they be fried out of cluck?
We have ways of making you cluck.
Fry hard.
There you go.
There you go.
The battle between battery and backyard chicken lore. Think about it. Think about a chicken for a moment. How does that look to you?
Like a chicken?
Delicious.
Yeah.
Like it's just a few steps away from a good meal.
Like it thinks it's better than me, but would taste good in between two pieces of bread.
You could think about the worst side of chicken welfare. The factory farm where 99% of the US's meat is reared. Profits from pain. High stocking densities. chickens so diseased in the US they dip their carcasses in chlorine to kill bacteria, a process banned in other parts of the world, including the EU. Perhaps you're thinking about the latest bird flu outbreak, which, as food writer Michelle Albanes Davies says, was likely always inevitable thanks to the way we keep our chickens.
You know, chickens can also be incredibly territorial and mean birds, so you didn't have to keep selling me on this.
I remember when I was a kid, my mom would hatch baby chicks and baby ducks. And the baby ducks were always real nice, and the baby chicks were always awful. Chickens suck.
So is that why you hate when I say two chicks at the same time?
Yes, it is, Terry. Yes, it is.
Jack was bullied by chickens
are
growing
China,
up.
China.
All right, from now on, I'll say two ducklings at the same time, just to make it easier on Jack.
Oh, okay, fair enough. Two ducks at the same time.
Or perhaps your brain went a different way. Maybe it thought of the backyard chicken. Happy, free-range birds chased by children in overalls. Coops to keep families and a healthy supply of eggs. Who is overseeing those happy chickens? Is it a crunchy hippie type who protests for animal rights on the weekends? Or is it a MAHA-loving trad wife who doesn't trust Big Chicken?
Big Chicken.
The one person I know who raises chickens year after year after year, that would be a yes. Both and.
Thanks to the crunchy to alt-right pipeline, it could be either.
I like that. Crunchy to alt-right.
Or maybe your brain went to the chicken's position in politics. Like Trump's agriculture secretary, who recently said it would be awesome if more Americans had personal chicken coops to help mitigate those rising egg and meat costs, conveniently ignoring how expensive it is to rear chickens, not to mention impossible for those living with little to no outside space. Or Trump's recent indication...
Considering that my Democrat-run government deliberately voted to pass laws that artificially boosted the cost of eggs, I am not taking any criticism of any of Trump's policies supposedly kicking up egg prices.
Or how about Democrat policies that put severe restrictions on where or how many chickens you are allowed to have on your property?
Yeah, well, if
you want to talk about something that kills the economy of scale, just limit a person to having only 6 chickens.
Well, we need to limit that, but, Chinese people coming over here during the outbreak of COVID, that's something you can't regulate.
Yeah, boobs. Even the one insurance carrier I know of that restricts that they don't restrict you to fewer than 10 chickens.
And yes, Johnny, I have seen Office Space. That's where the whole 2 chicks at the same time did come from. But I thought it would be funnier not to take the obvious setup. That's all.
Or Trump's recent indication that Britain could have relief from sweeping tariffs if they agree to import that chlorinated chicken. This is the strange position the chicken occupies in our cultural zeitgeist.
Why do you have such an obsession with chlorinated chicken? It's dipped in chlorinated water. That's not.
They're little chickens, but they're new. That's a deep cut. All right. It isn't just an animal. It's a symbol. So now it's freaking Batman.
Not the chickens we want, but the chickens we deserve.
Yes.
I never got to thank you.
I am vengeance. I am the night. I am Bat Nugget.
If you
try me an extra crispy.
If you rear them, what does that say about you as a person? If
that,
you
that
buy,
depends. Is rear a euphemism for anal sex? Because if it is, then it says a lot about the person.
well, if there's one thing we know about chicken fuckers, it's that they help people learn to read.
That is the one service that they do provide. True.
That's okay. If you buy them in the store, how much suffering are you prepared for your chicken to go through for their meat or eggs?
As much as it takes.
Well,
Or
I
is the
mean, they
delicious
were
suffering.
living when, say, for the chicken, it was living when it started. It was dead when it got to my home. So, I mean, obviously, I'm willing to tolerate some.
Look, if I gotta suffer through a hard day's work just to have some chicken and food and meat and stuff like that, then the chicken can also suffer through a hard day's work to have its own meat.
Yeah. For you,
And
the day the butcher slaughtered you for food was the most important day of your life. But for me, it was breakfast.
There you go.
And I am reminded of my baby panther around here who, with one exception, refuses to eat anything where animal suffering was not an ingredient in its manufacture.
Also, why were eggs brought up in this article? Is the author also against eggs?
Well, yeah,
Well,
because
they're
it's
byproduct
exploiting
of
the
chickens.
chicken's labor.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm forced to wonder if this person is for or against abortion.
Clearly, we
Are
need
they-
chicken abortions.
Are they against eggs and pro-abortion? I want to know.
Depends on the situation.
Or as the viral meme goes, one of the weirdest parts about being in modern society is standing at the egg aisle in a grocery store and trying to figure out what level of chicken happiness you can afford. That's a viral meme.
I'm
I
sorry,
guess
what?
so.
Okay.
To get your answer, Jack, if it is a human egg, it's strongly supported. If it is a black human egg, it's practically mandatory. If it is an animal egg, under no circumstances should it all ever be harmed.
Humans don't lay eggs.
Well,
That's
some of them might. I mean,
I don't
the
know.
politicians are actually lizard people, remember?
yeah.
I was gonna say I've seen some people.
Which means they're not human.
Oh, they're lizard people. That's right there. People.
Yeah.
Well,
They're called dogs people too. They're still not human.
haven't you heard that recent push on rectal birth?
Oh, wow.
No, I
Checkmate.
haven't. And I'm going to continue to not hear it. So mate your check.
It's hardly surprising that chickens, arguably more than any other reared for meat animal, occupy this cultural and political space. They are popular, the most popular, and that popularity comes with a price.
Yeah, and the price is going up.
That popularity comes with the price. That price is typically the lowest of most animal proteins, which is one of the reasons why it's popular.
It's about $4.59 for a 6-piece nugget.
Yeah.
All right, and then we get a backstory of why chickens are popular in America, and which we can skip, except for the fact that they bring up the Chicken of Tomorrow contest, because that video was featured on Mystery Science Theater.
The big issue I have with Chicken and Big Chicken is what it did to our vehicular options. Right, Rotten?
Hmm?
And
I have
Six
no
Cat makes an
problem
excellent
with chicken
point.
and big
Don't
chicken.
don't be so tasty with mashed potatoes then. Like, it's just common sense. If you don't want to get eaten, don't be delicious.
Right?
Mm.
Let's see. Okay. Whoever has been doing chicken's PR for the last 30 years has been doing something right. And because of that, the poor little chicken has landed itself right in the middle of that cultural and political war. One it never asked for and frankly never deserved. As with all macro problems, there is no single answer to the chicken conundrum.
The chicken question.
Yeah, I
The
was gonna
secret.
say the chicken question.
Original recipe or extra crispy?
I have
always
an
crispy.
What'll be our answer to the chicken question? I have an idea. The name is Sanders.
Get out of my head.
Buying better can be prohibitively expensive. A regular supermarket chicken in the UK, for instance, costs around £3.88 a kilo. I have no idea what that is in real units.
Yeah.
A
That's
free
expensive.
a free range bird, that'll be £7.50 a kilo. More
I
if you
still
want
don't eat Dr. Seuss.
more if you want organic or a specialist breed. The same goes for eggs, especially in light of the recent bird flu epidemic, which has seen average egg prices hit a record of $6.22 a dozen.
Oh shit,
Not that-
now it's in real money.
Not that everyone believes high prices are entirely bird flu's fault. The US's largest egg corporation recently posted massive profits after all.
No, the high price is mostly the government's fault.
No, it's the greedy big chicken. Farmer and food justice advocates have accused Cal Maine and other egg companies of exploiting the latest bird flu outbreak to raise prices well above what supply and demand would predict. Keeping chickens may sound idyllic, but I looked after some for a couple of months, so I know how hard that can be. Whilst gathering your own...
They get harder around chickens? That's concerning.
Well,
Yes.
it's a good,
Maybe that's why they've been rearing them so often.
maybe it's a good thing that it was suggested you rear chickens instead of forcing you to raise them. Which is usually the government's solution to everything, is to just force you to do it.
Everyone will be assigned a chicken. Whilst gathering your own chicken eggs in the morning is life-affirming, chickens are both expensive and time-consuming to keep. Not to mention impossible if you don't have land.
They're
But that doesn't-
time-consuming. They are not expensive.
But that doesn't mean we shouldn't try to do something to mitigate big chicken, chlorinated chicken imports, and MAHA chicken appropriation. Like doing as our parents did and eating chicken as a treat, not as an everyday convenience. Like finding alternative protein sources. I got a protein source for you.
Oh, here we go. Eat the bugs. Are we getting to the eat the bugs bit?
Every
Like
time I
Elk
hear
that I ate
Maha-
earlier.
Every time I hear Maha, I think of that stupid song, you know, Ma he Ma who
God.
Maha.
The early 2000s were a dark time.
Weren't they?
Like buying better chicken meat and eggs when we can. Like petitioning for Britain to hold firm against chicken-based political blackmail. Chicken-based blackmail.
Chicken-based blackmail.
The worst kind.
You don't want everyone to find out about the thing with the chickens, do you? Chickens and their souls deserve more than the lot they've been given on this earth. Only we can make amends the best we can.
The author has
Is-
clearly never actually faced down a chicken. They're
Is
soulless. They're soulless yard birds.
Is someone gonna bring up the fact that chickens don't have souls?
Maybe they've got dark souls, and that's why they keep dying.
Yeah. What we need is reparations
Chickens are
for
so-
chickens.
Chickens are so soulless they make gingers look normal.
We will recruit an army of
crazy.
chickens.
Easier said than done.
Once mighty herds of chickens roamed this continent.
Yeah,
So
so
on came a colonel.
It's also
I'm
very
sure-
important that you never accuse Marty McFly of being a chicken.
I'm sure at some point Trump will create an army of chickens to invade Canada.
Everything changed when
overkill, but-
Popeyes
I'd
attacked.
watch.
I still think it's so weird that you have a chicken place called Popeyes because I associate it with the cartoon. Like
Right?
I don't know.
I've never had a a Popeyes anywhere in Australia that I've been aware of. So
Now,
It's-
you think
Well, we've got a Spanish brand named Popeyes too.
that
Yeah.
makes sense at least.
there's a supplement store in my town that's called Popeyes.
Yeah.
They use the cartoon character as a mascot.
Is it public domain or did they pay for the rights? Because
I have no idea. I didn't ask. I don't care. I doubt anyone's gonna do anything about it, anyways.
Well, Popeyes
True,
is just
but if
lesser
you-
Chick-fil-A anyway.
no, I mean no one's going to do anything. But you'd think just to be on the safe side, their lawyers would probably insist.
Well,
Probably.
didn't Popeye go into public domain recently?
Well, that's what I was asking.
Well, these guys have been around since I was a kid, so
Oh, okay. Well then,
All right. But with the end of the second article comes the second game, which is for the chat only Italians,
Oi!
and that's the caption contest, where I'll show a photo. Where I'll show a photo of a political figure event, and the chat has come up with a caption for it, and whichever one we like best, I'll tweet out after the show. And this week we've got Trump meeting with Zelensky at the Vatican, or wherever they buried the Pope. It looks like they're sharing a very tender moment.
I had the time of my life.
Let's see. Okay, but can you cook? Fucking brain. Yeah. Why is? Nah. I'm gonna set up an ID system. Alright. I hear Polygon is for sale. When do we start spinning the dreidel? See, I would be thinking like, oh, my love, my darling.
The Green Badger says League of Legends, which they don't have enough people for that.
Yeah. Russia still owns your ass?
Mm. I mean, Russia Stills is like a person who.
Nuh-uh, you blinked first.
Mm.
You're lucky JD didn't show up. You're why JD killed the Pope. No, I didn't spit on them before I grabbed her. Did you see that? I don't know if this is real, but like there was some like social media post from Trump, and they like circle that, you know, if you look at the letters this way, it spells out JD kill Pope.
Well, the JD stands for just killed the Pope. Everyone knows that.
Let's see. When do I go in for the kiss? You sunk my battleship. Yeah, give it a little more time. And also, we have half as many likes as we have viewers.
I told you, I've already given you the dislike. You don't have to keep pressuring me for it.
I think I think the chat is in league with Big Chicken.
Mm.
You've never played musical chairs like this, huh? It's just us, you can say it. Have you seen Thunderbolts? I'm not reading it. I'm not reading it, James. Yeah, I'll give it a couple seconds.
How do I cook the pizza?
Mm.
Hey, how do I cook the pizza?
I mean, I suppose they're in Italy, but all right. I think I'll end it there. So, which one are you guys going with?
I was looking at James Cawley's "You Sunk My Battleship."
That's the direction I was looking too.
Yeah, it's a pretty good one.
I
won't lie,
like Rotten. I like Rottens. It's just us. You can say it.
Let's see who we didn't say yet. Della.
I was gonna go with Johnny's. When do we start spinning the dreidel?
See, I don't get that one.
I don't either, but
What the?
I really don't care that much either.
All right. Well, I think I would also go with James Cawley's. Or, wait, was it his?
You
No.
Sunk My Battleship.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Cali.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that one. Yeah.
Well,
That
he put multiple ones in.
Yeah, he put in that and I cook a pizza.
I don't see that one.
Oh.
Hey, did anyone not vote? Or
I think we all did.
no? All right.
I've been timed out.
Hmm?
Shame.
Well, you must have broken the rules. I don't know. All right. And
Well,
now,
it's not fair that you say no Italians.
I think it's really fair.
It's extra racist because he's bigoted against Black Italians.
They're not a
Yeah,
race.
yeah.
Blatalians.
I'm not going to say Italians, but yeah.
I like that one.
Well, since a few of our articles are longer, this one's going to be pretty short. So,
Okay.
our next article, from an author we've had before. 5 signs you have had mystical past lives.
Ah.
Oh.
Does the unseen fascinate you?
Well, no, because I can't see it.
Right?
All right. Too bad we don't have blind press on this week.
Yeah.
When we are drawn to a certain time, there's often a good reason behind it. Maybe we are meant to learn more about it, or perhaps we have learned about it long ago. Many people feel a draw to the mystical in life. Ancient practices and unseen realms call to them. If you think you might have had mystical past lives, here are some signs you will likely find familiar. 5 signs you have had mystical past lives. These may be things you are drawn to, curious about, or for as long as you can remember have been your vibe. Alright, so the first one. Apparently a sun had mystical past lives. The moon calls to you. The moon's cycles are a part of many mystical traditions. The intuitive goddess energy of the moon speaks to many witches in particular. Many rituals and ceremonies are held during certain phases of the moon. A new moon for new beginnings. A full moon for release or potency. I don't want to hear about moon's potency.
What do you think the odds are that the author howls at the moon?
Very high.
Yeah. I'd say like 80%.
I would have given it 90 actually, Jack.
You have an unfair advantage.
You're psychic/intuitive, but you prefer to keep that secret. You have noticed you have intuitive abilities. Others don't seem to know or sense what you can. Or sense what you can. You don't want to feel
But you
different.
don't tell anyone because every time you tell people, they laugh at you.
I don't have psychic abilities, just pattern recognition, so I can decode idiots like you.
Just anytime something happens, just be like, I knew that was going to happen.
Yeah, I
You
knew
don't
you were
want
going to say that.
you don't want to feel different or worse, be judged, so you keep your abilities to yourself. All right, so you're basically an X-Man. All right. This can stem from a deep-seated fear of judgment that resulted in your death in another life. You feel in sync with nature and animals. In past lives, you may have worked with the earth using seasons, herbs, crystals, animal talismans, and more.
No, I wasn't a faggot in my previous life.
No, in
I
my
knew you were going to
previous
say that.
in my previous life, I mixed herbs and spices with animals.
Yes.
They were delicious.
And talismans are only acceptable if you're playing Elden Ring. Right. Nature resets most people, but for you, it can be profound. You can often sense a deep connection with animals, preferring them to people. Oh no.
Oh gosh.
Oh,
right.
God.
I mean,
Well,
I prefer animals to people, but that's because I'm antisocial and they tolerate me just fine.
All right, so
before Jane, Tarzan only have animals as friends.
So Vaush had mystical past lives, as did Shane Dawson. Let's see. Fantasy films and books feel uncannily familiar. If you lose,
every time I watch Monty Python and the Quest for the Holy Grail, I was like, I've seen this before somewhere.
It's gotta be real then.
if you lose yourself in a fantasy sci-fi world easily, you've likely lived more than one mystical past life. Your soul remembers the ancient worlds and other dimensions you have dwelled within. You long for the soothing...
Here's an idea. Maybe you just like a story. Could that be it? Maybe the book that was written specifically for the purpose of entertaining you is entertaining you.
I like
Jack,
the story.
I'm going on a road trip to Springfield, Illinois, and I'm going to meet a yellow family.
You long for the soothing sight of an elvish homestead.
No.
You own multiple oracle and tarot decks and know how to use them. While some people might enjoy the art and messages of card decks, you feel at one with the cards. Likely you give readings to friends and maybe even professionally. You can intuitively...
I've only ever been involved in the tarot deck once. We accidentally used one to play poker. I got a full house and 4 people died.
Yeah, that's a Stephen Wright joke.
That's a Stephen Wright joke, you son of a bitch.
And like, aren't like regular, like, you know, poker type cards like older than tarot cards?
I think so.
Yeah.
Like, why do we give tarot cards any, you know, sense of importance?
We don't.
Because they're
Because people like the witchy woo-woo.
Yeah.
Let's see. You can intuitively sense what each card means individually, but also how they fit together in a spread.
In other words, make up your own definitions.
Yeah.
This one means ink on cardstock. This one means ink on cardstock.
Oh,
this one means
fool.
ink on
No.
cardstock.
This
You're
one
going to
means
have a
Microsoft
lucky
as well.
time.
This one means sell Microsoft.
All right.
This one means if I can be really creative in my storytelling, I can get people to pay me money to make stuff up with these things.
Yeah.
Well, I don't deal with tarot cards ever since I saw how much better Paul Allen's tarot cards are than mine. If you have 3 or more of these signs, you have likely had a mystical past life or more. The soul carries over skills and wisdom we gain in each lifetime. Don't be afraid to harness your abilities and let yourself shine.
So considering you just referenced skills and wisdom acquired and retained from past lives, this is your first time around?
It's not your soul carrying on things. It's your DNA remembering things from your previous generations.
Yeah, like in Assassin's Creed. Yeah.
Exactly.
And Rotten Corpse says, this one means buy my book. Buy my.
Yeah, actually, and the author's photo is grabbed from their about on their Amazon thing for their book, Being Incarnated, a guidebook.
I enjoyed reading your story, Jocelyn. I am in sync with my psychic and mystical abilities and love animals.
That's not concerning at all.
Every time I do tarot cards, I get the strangest results in a very confusing manner. It's almost like they're random cards. It's sort of similar.
No.
It's sort of similar to Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban movie/book, where Ron reads Harry's fortune and transcribes it for him, claiming that you're gonna suffer, but you're gonna be happy about it. Oh, Harry Potter's in BDSM.
Well, he did do the Weird Al movie.
It would explain Equus.
That's another deep cut. All I recall is that there's some horse murder and there's some plot in it.
It was overrated. Basically, it's supposed to be like a deep psychological mystery, but it ends up that Harry Potter kills the horse because he can't get it up.
Yeah.
I mean, who hasn't been there? All right. And now, with the end of the third article comes our final game. And that
since
is...
Moon isn't here to contradict me, this is the best game.
That's true.
Arguably.
And that is Poe or No Gender Edition, where I give you 3 genders, 2 of which are from the LGBTIA wiki, meaning they're 100% real, and 1 I made up. And you have to figure out which one is made up. So what, did they do a remake of Equus?
I don't know.
Well,
I mean,
the actor who played Harry Potter starred in a stage production of Equus, in which I didn't see it, but apparently you see his penis.
Oh, I only heard of the movie.
I didn't even know there was a movie. I thought it was just a stage production.
Yeah, that was from like several decades ago, which was why I was confused that the Harry Potter kid was in it. All right. And let's see. Our first gender is shapeshift gender.
Ah.
Gender connected to being a shapeshifter or wanting to be a shapeshifter.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Changelings are evil and must be burned with fire.
Why have a bar if you're going to set it that low that it touches the ground?
All right, and gender B, me gothics.
Are you fucking kidding me right now?
Xenogender connected to the Nintendo Wii, goth me's, or me's and goth culture.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
All right, and gender C, Candy Bloodum. Xenogender related to candied blood.
Why not?
Alright, and I'm going to start a poll so the chat can get in on it. And don't forget one of the options that they're all real.
Okay, I'm going to say that something about Frosted's godson cut his lip on a piece of candy and then came up with C.
It's either that or introducing his godson to the Wii.
Well, maybe he was changing his godson's nappy and he weed all over his face.
Or maybe he's a werewolf.
Maybe he put his godson down for a nap and she woke up as a girl.
There you go.
All right, so Jack, what are you going with?
Girl.
I'm gonna go with C, Frosted.
All right.
Even though I can't see Frosted.
Any particular reason or just going random?
No, I already told you because your godson cut his lip on a piece of candy.
Okay. And Moon.
I'm gonna go do a rarity for me on this one. I'm gonna go with all real because every one of them is just insane enough.
Hmm.
All right. Terry.
I'm going to go with B.
All right. Let's see. And Della.
I am gonna go with B.
All right. Let's see. So chat is going all real with B in second.
They almost always vote heavily on all real.
Yeah. Well, there's usually one that's pretty ahead as far as second place, though.
Yeah.
Which one are you voting for, Frosted?
Yeah.
Well, I think I'm gonna. Hey, wait a minute.
I mean, from a certain point of view, all of them are as real as the rest. So
True.
And isn't Braniel the savant at this game? What's he going with?
He used to be.
Braniel says that he has since lost the touch.
He lost his mojo.
He
Yeah.
lost the power.
he needs to get his groove back.
He's a sword.
I'm under arrest.
Yeah.
What else is new?
All right. I'll give it a couple more seconds.
They must have heard who I voted for. They're out to get me.
So do you guys have the results of your election yet, or?
No. I only voted this morning.
Oh, so you're gonna find out tonight.
Yeah. That I am almost certain that the party I voted for will not win. That is pretty much guaranteed.
So,
Yeah, I didn't-
but you stood on your principles, though, and I'm proud of you for that.
Yep. And I put the three major parties in Australia. They were my third last, second last, and last options because you have to rank the options. They were the bottom three.
I just figured they each party trained a kangaroo or whatever, and they fought to the death.
I mean, couldn't be any worse than the current system.
All right.
Who would win in a fight, an emu or a kangaroo?
Probably a
Yes.
kangaroo.
Kangaroo, definitely.
Everyone would win.
No, they used to do the kangaroo battles, and then somebody got it up their butt that's kind of cruel to the animals.
Yay.
Lame.
6 has a 4
Hey.
a.m. win by the emus. Don't even joke about that. That's very
Hey, I
traumatizing.
Can I just say that kangaroos are perfectly capable of defending themselves? I once saw this movie where a kangaroo shot a gun at a bunch of hoodlums.
Oh wow!
Huh?
It's Crocodile Dundee.
Ah,
He's got
I've
a gun.
I've only seen one of them. All right. Well, I think I'll end the poll there. So it looks like chat went with all real followed by B.
Hmm.
All right. And the answer is B is fake.
Woohoo!
Yeah. And tell
Suck
us,
it, bitches.
Frosted, how did you come up with this one?
I think I just thought of the whole me thing a while ago. Like that
Oh.
seemed like something that one of these people would make into a gender. But I was gonna make
And then
it
he got
B, so
distracted by big booty goth girls.
well, I was gonna have it be A, but then I found another one for A, and it had to be B, so I had to make it more weird. So I threw in the goth
Oh,
part.
okay.
He's got a science to it.
Yeah.
And I mean, obviously these types are gonna be pro goth, so
Yes, that's true.
Mm-hmm.
See, Keith, that would be a movie to traumatize an entire generation of Australians.
yes, there is a lot of mind games that go into thinking up the gender.
Naturally.
All
Which
right,
is why
and-
it must have been really annoying when I preempted every single game with the answer.
All right, and let's see. Let's look at the flags for the real ones. So here's shapeshift gender, which is pretty
It's gonna
ugly.
be stripes. Ooh,
Okay.
we added a diamond to our stripes.
Ah.
I think it's like a clown's vagina.
Hmm.
All right, and here's Candid Bloodim.
End of blooding.
Yeah, and also I had to make Candid Bloodum sound more plausible because it ends in im, so I changed it to ix for me gothics.
Oh, right.
So less strategizing. All right. But, of course, that's not all we have.
There's
We also
more?
have Porno Gender Edition Too Retarded for TV.
Yay!
Where I give you a gender that's too retarded for you guys to think I made it up, but also too retarded not to share.
Yeah.
I've given up on understanding what makes you think that any of them would be too retarded for you to have made up.
Don't underestimate how retarded I think you guys are.
I mean, one of these days you're gonna share it, and it's just gonna be the letter Y.
Yes.
Y
It's
for
just gonna
people
be
who feel like Y.
it's just gonna be all work
Yeah.
and no play.
I think
You
secretly
say
they're
that,
all
Jack.
royal faggot. I think secretly every gender is royal faggot.
You say that, Jack. Now he's gonna pull the reveal out, and it's just gonna be why.
Hmm.
Oh, it just got tagged in a tweet. Apparently, Neil Breen is starting to work on his next film. Thank you, Jack Conklin. You're doing the Lord's work. All right. Okay, so let's see. This week's gender is Light-to-Savian.
What?
All right, and I'm going to make a guess that this one was invented by a creative writing student. Gender that feels like a bird fighting to fly during a rainstorm. The deluge rages, depressing the flight of the vagrant bird. Its wings heavy with the weight of raindrops fallen, till it seems nothing more than a streak of darkness fighting a bitter battle through the tempest.
All right, we need to find out who came up with that gender and shoot them.
I think we've been
No,
doing
what? I'm sorry. I missed some of that. My soul temporarily left my body.
Yeah.
But what about my monologue about my boyhood in Surrey?
We used to romp in the fens and spinneys. Hello, I'm the ice cream man.
If that went on, if that went on for 3 more sentences, it would have gotten to succulent Chinese meals.
I love how that could have
That guy
just
was a
been.
legend.
I love how that could have just been summed up as a bird in the rain.
It's, no, if succulent Chinese meal guy, if he ever runs for prime minister, he's got my vote.
I thought he died.
I'd still vote for him.
It'd still be better than the one you got now.
A
Exactly.
succulent Chinese meal. All right, and here's the flag for it.
It's gonna be boring after all that English major stuff.
It would be great if the flag was just the description written on it. DC Isaac
Okay,
got
I will give them this. You've got the bird, you've got the darkness above, you can see the cloud cover, and then below with the sky and the rain. Boring. You could have made it better.
DC Isaac
But
got
they
the
could have
Frasier
made it
reference.
work too.
Yeah.
All right, and now for our final article, where we're going to get an article from an old friend. And
Neil
we're also going to hear about the latest victim of basically the right and colonialism. Shocker. Orcas are now hunting blue whales by Zarna
Oh, wow.
Joshi.
Oh,
Zarna
no.
Joshi.
Zarna,
Yes.
fucking Zarna, fucking Joshi.
It
Here
turns
we
out,
go.
It turns out the answer to humongous what was a whale.
This man just abused a woman.
The thing that I always love about that clip is that she clearly can't come out the gate saying he sexually assaulted me, but
Yeah.
that's what she. But she steadily ramps up her language over time because she's working her way into hysterics to get there.
Yeah.
Like, you think she gets offended by all the Bart Simpson prank phone call jokes in The Simpsons?
Almost certainly.
What do you mean, Amanda hug and kiss?
Yeah.
I
Say
was
for those
flabbergasted.
who
You
need a
just
reminder-
abused a woman.
I
For
was
those poor souls who need a reminder.
I was
And,
flabbergasted by this news.
DC Isaac says that he has a bumper magnet that says, "I'm pro-opera and I vote."
Oh yeah. I forget what episode of Frasier that's from. All right. Less than 2 weeks ago, For the Win must have thought this story was a win. In rare sighting, 60 orcas attacked the largest creature on the planet. 5 families of orcas joined forces to hunt down and feed on a blue whale, the largest creature on the planet in what was an extremely rare sighting off Australia. Man, that must have been awesome to watch.
Orcas are aquatic China.
They're assholes.
Is she gonna say that the orcas are white
Yes.
supremacists now?
And orcas, they don't give a damn. They will kill and eat stuff. They will kill stuff sometimes just to kill stuff.
And that kid really shouldn't have freed one. The article speaks about 5 orca families surrounding an adult blue whale and killing it. The article says this is only the 4th such sighting of such a phenomenon. A witness is quoted saying that watching nature unfold was bittersweet. But why would this be...
It happens off the coast of Australia where everything wants to kill you anyway. Are we sensing a theme?
I'm surprised giant spiders didn't get involved.
Yeah, Ron. Orcas and blue whales have beef, and they've had it for a long time. These critters do not get along.
Or mega piranha.
Silly.
But why would this be only the 4th such sighting if this is how nature normally unfolds? Well, maybe because it's in the ocean?
Because it rarely happens in sight of land or humans, and because blue whales are big critters. They can go deeper than orcas. They can do a lot of they've got their own advantages, and it takes a lot of orcas to take down a blue whale just because of the size differential.
Also, remember how many whale watching cruises go without actually seeing any whales?
That's why I go on the Japanese
ones. Are you going to have a whale to watch on your whale watching tour?
Yeah, seeing a whale is not common on its own. Seeing anything happen to a whale, meanwhile, is pretty rare in itself.
Okay, I want to start posting on Twitter just day 1 of still not seeing a whale eaten by orcas.
Yes.
And just do that every day. Day 2. The article says the answer without saying it. The first such sightings occurred between 2019 and 2021 off Australia, according to Smithsonian Magazine. In each attack, between 50 and 75 orcas took part.
Yeah,
2019.
it takes a lot of killer whales to take down a blue whale.
It's the aquatic equivalent of the 100 guys versus a gorilla thing.
Yes.
Baby blue whale is almost as big as an entire pod of orcas. There's a big size differential there. And the start of that little bit there, why would this be the fourth such sighting, etc., etc. It reminds me of something about the whole global warming, climate change causing hurricanes, and the differences in how they, how many hurricanes they tracked 200, 300 years ago, and how many we track now. One, now we track them with sonar nets, buoys, and satellites, which, hello, they didn't have hundreds of years ago. Two, every year we get more sensitive about what we call a named storm. And three, we're watching areas of the ocean that they avoided those times of the year because of all the hurricanes.
Now, if we could just get Big Chicken to join the fight. Let's see. So for centuries and millennia, humans never witnessed orcas surround and kill a blue whale. It's never been a thing. The first time only happened 6 years ago, around 2019. The article quotes a scientist who was practically panting with excitement. This is the biggest predation event on the planet, Robert Pittman, cetacean ecologist at Oregon State University Marine Mammal Institute, told Science News. We haven't seen things like this since dinosaurs were here, and probably not even then. Robert Pittman...
How? Just for, just spitballing here, how many times has any predator and or apex predator taken down a prey animal in the history of ever before, one, a human witnessed it, or two, a human documented it?
46.
If we didn't see it, it didn't happen. Robert Pittman is talking like some boxing commentator watching the big fight. In a tragic sense, he's right. It is a big fight, but not like some boxing match. In case you don't know, blue whales are massive, the largest animals on the planet. Adult blue whales are gigantic.
Blue whales are very big. Keen observation there, Zana.
This just in, whales are big.
Yes.
The whale is wearing a blue suit.
But
it's
not
at
as
the
big
head
as
of
your
the
mama.
table. This is a blue whale compared to an African elephant. Here's a blue whale next to
you think the road to the peanuts to the drugstore is long, but that's peanuts compared to a whale.
Here's a blue whale next to other whales, including orcas, with a human at the very bottom. All right. Orcas are huge, over 9 meters, yet still nothing in comparison to blue whales who can reach 30 meters long. In nature, predators don't normally go after prey that is so much bigger than them. It can happen, but
Ever
usually...
watched fire ants take down anything?
Yeah, or just any pack hunters. It can happen, but usually only in desperate circumstances. When very
don't tell the wolves that routinely hunt caribou.
When very hungry, a predator family might gang up on a wounded larger animal who can't fend them off. Even then, it doesn't usually happen, because the larger animal might still injure them. Why risk injuries when there is so much prey that is smaller, easier to catch, and doesn't require so much risk, strength, or mass coordination?
I'm sorry, but if it was so rare for larger animals to get killed off, then the world would be full of larger animals.
This is true.
Which brings me back to 50, 60, 75 orcas surrounding one adult blue whale, in its full size capacity and gigantic strength. At that
And
point,
they can bring a whole lot more force to bear in the fight.
At that point, 75 orcas from different families all working together sounds less like hunting and more like they're fighting a war. If this phenomenon...
Like dolphins killing sharks. They're faster, they're nimble, and they can hit hard. Orcas are faster than blue whales as far as the general, and they'll, get in there, get a bite, get out.
Now, they're clearly at war, Lynn, and we have to pick a side.
Like it's Nintendo versus Sega. It's whale versus orca.
If we've got to pick a side, then I'm actually picking the blue whale side because they're less likely to kill me than the orca is.
If this phenomenon has only been seen since 2019, and even then only 4 times, then maybe it's not nature unfolding. Maybe it's a shocking turn of events.
Or maybe we're just really unobservant and not at the right place at the right time to see it when it happens, usually.
You know what you should do? Get the black people who live underwater and built the pyramids. Get them to speak as to whether this happened or not.
Yeah, have you guys seen any whales getting eaten by orcas?
It's a shame he's not.
Send in your personal Jew to find out.
Yes, exactly.
Maybe we should be alarmed. Why are orcas surrounding the largest creature on the planet to hunt it? And why are so many orcas working together? The answer is
because
obvious.
it's a lot of meat on the fin.
The answer will be on the next episode of Soap.
Find out next time.
The answer is that whale will feed all of those orcas for days.
Yeah. I thought the answer was blowing on the wind.
The
Blowing
answer
in
is
the wind, Terry.
In the wind, yeah.
Not on its in.
The answer is obvious. Remember this? Grieving orca mother finally lets her dead newborn go after 17 days. Remember how orca...
I was so hoping that, remember this, there'd be a picture of Humongous.
Remember how orca mother Tahlequah carried her dead newborn baby for 17 days while the world watched her grieve?
No.
I don't.
No.
I'm fairly certain I did not watch that.
Well, you don't have like orcas checked off on your interests for Google?
That's all they have to do with this.
It was on the MSN front page for ages.
I see. I start from the back, and then I get bored about halfway through the first page.
Oh, I thought you were talking about
Like,
sex.
I mean, generally everything.
You started. That is actually genius. You want to get to the stuff they're trying to hide.
Remember how her podmates
You just improved my opinion of you.
I feel like Zardajoshi is like trying to unveil a vast conspiracy, but nothing she says makes any sense.
Hey, if I know Zarnajashi, then I'm sure there's some brilliance coming up.
I fucking love it when you lie to us.
Remember how her podmates stayed with her, protecting her so their family didn't lose both mother and child? I remember crying watching it. I'm a survivor of a 1,000-year-old genocide, and even I couldn't imagine her pain.
I'm sorry, what?
I want to know what death camp had Zarnajashi in it.
Yeah.
Right?
If you're
Following the prison guard around. Humongous what?
Oh, for God's sake, I don't even want to genocide you anymore. Just go.
I wouldn't even genocide you.
Yes, exactly.
Dolphins and whales are social animals, and they do carry tight social and family relationships and everything. But part of that is just that the more stable the pod, the better they are both offensively and defensively. One killer whale, one orca alone out there isn't nearly as well off, as safe, or as an effective hunter as a pod of them. There's a reason they travel in groups. They're pack hunters.
If you're a whale or a dolphin, it means that you have to go down and pick that animal up as it's sinking. Bring it to the surface, hold your breath for as long as you can, and then basically dump your baby off your head in order just to take a breath. Orca biologist Deborah Giles from the University of Washington told the Washington Post. It's real and it's raw. It's obvious what's happening. You cannot interpret it any other way. This is an animal that is grieving for its dead baby, and she doesn't want to let it go. She's not ready. Guess what
are you talking about?
I'm sure this is going somewhere. Alright. Guess what happened to that orca mother, Tahlequah? Orca mom is carrying a dead calf for the second time, raising concerns among scientists.
Maybe she's a genetic dead end.
Maybe
What
her
the hell are you talking about?
Maybe her husband pushed her down the stairs. She lost a baby.
Well, I mean, they are like half black.
She lost a baby again. She again carried her dead baby for over 11 days. There are only about 75 whales in this population, and their birth rate for the last few years has been 0. 0 as in no babies at all. 0 as in 100% failure of infant survival over the last 3 years.
And maybe they deserve to go extinct.
According to the
maybe this particular whale, or if it's this group, this particular pod, is a genetic dead end. It happens.
Maybe they opened an underwater Planned Parenthood.
There are people who are genetic dead ends. They carry too many markers for fatal genetic defects that any attempt to reproduce passes on too many of those traits, and their offspring can't survive. It happens in humans. It happens in the wild.
I would personally like to congratulate Zarna Joshi, as she is the only person I've met so far who takes longer to get to the point than Will It Forge.
According to the CWR, over the last 2 decades, 75% of newborns in this population have not survived infancy. The cause is lack of sufficient food resources in their foraging area. Balcombe says, "There's not enough food, and that's due to environmental reasons. All of this means, in short, the whales aren't getting enough to eat, and without enough to eat, pregnancies aren't successful, and babies die shortly after birth. Southern resident orcas such as this mother are teetering on the brink of extinction, with only 73 of the marine mammals remaining as of 2019.
Hey, maybe
Well,
they're
you
already
get all
done
pissy
that.
when they eat seals, and you get annoyed when they eat penguins, and you get annoyed when they eat other things. What are they supposed to eat?
The bugs.
True.
I mean, they already live in pods.
Yeah.
What about the bugs that carry around their dead larvae for 14 days?
All right, now I want to see a bunch of bugs kill an orca.
There
These
you
bugs
go.
are grieving or something. Don't you see? Is it all coming together?
That's what this is about. The orcas are starving. The orcas can't keep their children alive in such conditions, so the orcas are going extinct. In such circumstances, wouldn't any parent become desperate? In such circumstances, wouldn't any parent do whatever it took to feed their pregnant mothers, their children? Their plight isn't an accident freak of nature. Imperialists have taken all the food, cut off the natural spawning cycles, and polluted the water. They're starving to death intelligent sacred beings like orcas. Orca babies are dying at birth because of what imperialism has done to the ocean. It finally makes sense.
Sacred beings, which means you're not being affected.
It finally makes sense why orca families have started working together to hunt much larger prey. They are fighting a war. They're fighting extinction. They'll fight even giants, adult blue whales, to keep their babies alive. As the blue whale's fate was sealed, orcas celebrated with breaches and tail slaps. Unfortunately, the orcas don't realize their victory won't last. Blue whales were in trouble even before orcas started to hunt them. The blue whales are going extinct too. The truth is, the oceans are dying. Again, it's not an accident or a freak of nature. Imperialists have knowingly destroyed the ocean. Notice how none of these scientists watching a blue whale got torn apart by 75 orcas seemed to give a damn except to gossip about how thrilling the big fight was to watch. This is only the 4th recorded instance of orcas hunting a blue whale here, an extraordinary reminder of their role as apex predators in the ocean. Pant, pant, pant.
Wait, which are you saying is the apex predator?
The orcas.
Okay. I say,
I'm
trying to
surprised.
make sure because blue whales certainly are not.
I'm surprised that she hasn't brought in Pepe Silva yet.
Who's Pepe Silva?
Remember Charlie Goes Crazy on It's Always Sunny, the red thread thing?
Yeah.
That's a no. He doesn't.
I've seen it, but it's been a while, so I didn't remember the name.
Ah.
Let's see. The extinction of orcas and blue whales is not entertainment, imperialists. The ocean is in a desperate state. Industrial fishing, dams that interrupt natural spawning cycles, a heating climate, ocean acidification, pollution. The list of damage grows and grows, while life in the ocean shrinks and shrinks. The basis of all life on this planet is the ocean. The food chain begins in the ocean. 50% of our oxygen comes from the ocean. If the ocean dies, we die. I'm writing this because every month is Earth Month, and every day is Earth Day, and I can't stand the lies. Don't believe your media.
Hey Zarna, how's that yoga business doing?
You know, something in the oceans that's not going to die out ever. Plankton and algae. You know where all that oxygen from the ocean is coming from? You guessed it.
Plankton's not going to die until he finds the Krabby Patty secret formula.
Wait, are you telling me that the oxygen from the ocean doesn't come from orcas?
Doesn't come from blue whales either.
I
can't believe my mind is blown.
Don't believe your
Rotten, that's right. Zarna should apologize to the ocean for wasting oxygen.
Yes.
Don't believe your media when they tell you something is fun, exciting, thrilling. That only means they're distracting you from the truth so that imperialists can continue to money. I don't know if that's a mistake or if that's some new slang. There's a lot you can do to help. Okay, I'm just picturing people going out with guns defending the blue whales.
Yes.
Indigenous people help simply by existing, because protecting indigenous culture is natural resistance to imperialism. But, wow, indigenous people have it easy. For non-indigenous people, the number one thing is to stop eating seafood from industrial fishing. Don't give the industrial fishing industry money. Non-indigenous people can also help indigenous communities take down dams that interrupt spawning cycles.
What I'm hearing is I should have fish for dinner tonight.
Yep.
Yes.
Dams are not affecting the spawning cycles for orcas or blue whales.
Oh yeah, well then how come that orca had to jump over that wall in that one movie? Huh?
Darn it, you got me there.
Yeah.
SeaWorld! SeaWorld!
That's what I thought. Those spawning cycles are...
Never saying as the spin-off of the comedian goes, never order a fish sandwich at SeaWorld because you're just eating the slow learner.
Those spawning cycles are critical for ocean life. Non-indigenous people can also stop eating meat from industrial farming. The pollution from industrial animal agriculture that pours into the ocean is highly destructive to land and water. There's so much more you can do. For more information, go here. If you like my writing, maybe buy me a coffee.
A humongous coffee.
Humongous what?
Oh, no comments. Oh, and no like. Okay, I gotta give her likes. No one else gave her likes.
Oh, you're such a nice guy, Frosted.
Yes.
If I buy her a coffee, can I stipulate that she has to add copious amounts of Canadian healthcare to it?
Nah.
It's writer, organizer, spiritual activist, anti-imperialist, decolonizing smasher of the patriarchy.
Huh?
So gender studies major. Got it.
All right.
Okay, it's over now. Let me out. Let me out.
Well, that's why we've got the bonus 5th article.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So that's Article 4 of 20.
Elon Musk. Worlds are just
See, now her and the other bitch talk about whales and chickens.
Mm.
And how the chickens are teaming up against orcas.
Tonight's
And then the
episode
black
is
people are
brought to you
eating the
by
chickens
eternity.
in their underground cities. In
They're
underwater
eating the
cities.
chickens, and then they're gonna eat
Yeah.
me.
Oh my
They're
god.
eating
the orcas. They're eating the chickens. Eat the
They're
chickens.
eating.
Eat the
They're
chicken.
eating the chickens. They're eating the orcas.
They're not sending
I've
their
warned you
best.
before, Jack. He only invites me on when he doesn't have anything planned for the next day. So
Actually, like, we're ending kind of early, which
Yes. Yes. Yes.
I know I have failed in my mission. I am sorry. I must go
Elon
commit
Musk, the
ritual.
world's richest man.
yeah.
Must go commit ritual Japanese healthcare.
All right. Well, that's all I have for tonight. So I'll take a moment to shill my co-host and guest. I Like Boobs has Games with Terry on his channel Sundays at 7 p.m. Eastern.
That is correct.
And right now they're playing an Uncanny Valley game with tiny women.
That has got to be my favorite glitch ever.
All right. And let's see. Moon has his Twitch channel linked in the description where he plays games that aren't as good as Super Seducer. And is there anything you'd like to say about your buddy Will?
Yeah.
He does some weird throwing pigments
Sex
at
stuff?
paper on Saturdays and some game stuff on Saturdays around 5 p.m. Eastern, I'm told. I hang out with him on some of the game streams too.
Gross.
Sounds pretty gay.
Yeah. All right. Let's see. Terry is also on Games with Terry because it'd
Funny
be a
that.
strange stream if he wasn't.
Yeah.
And he's also on Hammers, Minions Nights, and Mr. Adams streams.
Yep.
All right. And anything you want to shield, Dilla?
Nope.
Okay. It just reminds me of the start of Stephen Wright stand-ups where like everyone's applauding and then once it dies down he just goes, thanks.
Legendary guy there.
I did see him live once, which was
Yeah.
pretty cool.
Nice.
Because I think he's like from Boston, so.
Yeah, I think you're right.
All right, so let's see. We should be back next week at the normal time, Friday, 9 p.m. Eastern. But, you know,
You say should be now. It's just like Friday afternoon. He's gonna flake again.
I mean, I could be attacked by 75 orcas, so you never know.
You
Look,
never
if
know.
you can't fight off 75 orcas, I think we should find a different host. That's all I'm saying.
I avoided beaches because people kept trying to push me back into the water.
He's
What?
dying.
What? When was that even from?
What, the Louis Anderson joke?
That-
That was decades ago. That was the 80s.
No, the push me back on the water soundbite he has.
I want to say that was from early December.
All right. All right. So we should be back next week, 9 p.m. Eastern. So we'll see you guys then.
See you later.
Why?
My pussy hurts.
Stop picking at it.